Welcome back to the Health and Wealth Podcast. I'm Ana Ramos, and as always, I'm grateful to share this space with you. Today, we're exploring a word that's everywhere out there right now, longevity. It's often spoken about in terms of optimization, performance, or adding more years to your life. But here at Health and Wealth, we like to pause and ask a different question. What if it's not something we chase later in life, but something we quietly cultivate every day through how we care for our health, how we relate to the people around us, how we choose our work, how we engage with money, and how we continue to grow as human beings. Because a long life on its own isn't the goal, a well-lived life is. My guest today lives and breathes this every day. Dr. María Lozada Arenas is a physician and the founder of Clínicas de Ozono, where her work sits at the intersection of medicine, prevention, and long-term vitality. But what I find most compelling about Dr. María isn't just what she does professionally, it's how she lives. Her approach to longevity isn't about extremes or quick fixes. It's about alignment, about respecting the body, honoring time, and making choices that support life over decades, not moments. In today's conversation, we'll explore how medicine can support longevity without becoming the center of it, how living in harmony across life's pillars quietly compounds over time, and why the way we live today is always shaping the life we'll be living tomorrow. So take a breath, settle in, and allow this conversation to meet you where you are. Let's begin. Well, it's a beautiful day in Mexico City, and I am just so happy to have you here, Maria. It has been, living through life and being able to meet people like yourselves just enriches my life and my longevity so much more. And I'm so happy to have you here with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation. I am really happy to stay here with you and speak about the all interest things. And well, I'm ready.
I love it. All right. Let's begin today talking about longevity. It is a word that it's everywhere. It's on socials, it's on the things that we read, the things that we write, the things that we hear. And when I come across words that are so common, I kind of like to dig a little bit deeper into it. So, having someone here who specializes on longevity and not just from a medical perspective, but from a total well-being perspective, I'm gonna start the conversation just like that. What is longevity? What does longevity mean to you, Maria?
It's very interesting because have many things. The first is you have health in your body, but it's very important you have health in your mind. The people forget many things that thinking positives are bad days and keep old in and aside that when you look the life it's very or different emotion in the moment. And the other thing is important when you feel good with the between us, you feel good, your physical is better. And the old people say what happened, and you know it's important, do you feel fillers or botox or something like that in your face because your emotional health it's important for you look good. And of course the most important in longevity no is the years, it's more for the you have one plan or enjoy the life when the pass of the time. I think is that the meaning of longevity for me.
I love that, because a lot of times I think that we focus on longevity from a medical perspective, but your take on longevity is more on from a mind, body, soul perspective, where it is about feeling good. Because I really think that when we feel good, we begin to shift our cellular level, right? We begin to shift our nervous system, and you begin to radiate, right? So sometimes people walk into a room, and I think you told me the story that you walked into a room and everybody was just so happy to see you, and just it was this energy that you gave. And I think that that's such an important aspect of longevity. But since you're a doctor and you're in the medical field, and thank you for all of my fixes along the way, say in today's term, from a medical perspective, helps longevity, right? So if you look at medicine and you say, you're obviously always up in the latest and greatest. I see you at all the events that you go and you participate in and you share with other people. What would you say from a medical perspective are the things that today aid in longevity?
Well, the first thing about this item is you need exercise to exercise because your muscle lose when the pass of the time, and you need a strong for do many things. And many patients come to the consult and say, "Matt, I feel all the time tired." But if you don't do exercise, you don't do the one thing in the brain. The name is serotonin, and this substance in your brain, you feel better. And if you don't eat good, you don't um, you don't have the vitamins or something for feel or do many things because don't have energy. The all food in this moment have many process, don't real food, no, and this when happen that you don't have hormonal health. In the woman that I feel tired, I lose the hair, I feel bad. What happened? But I am young. I don't have menopause. What happened? Well, happened you live your very you all time have stress. You don't do exercise. You don't read. And the one thing important is the relationships. What happened with that? If you don't have environment good, who these people respect your moment today is great. I don't know, it's break up in the work and all the time I need to see you, but you need the rest, you need this environment security, and do you need relationship goods because you need this support in your life. And the other thing important is that the self-care, what happened with that? You really self-care, or yes or not, what happened? Maybe you don't use that um, help your face, clean or maybe you don't have a routine of skincare. This is important because the tomorrow when you see a look in your face, I need to see that, and well, I love it when I see in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this things is so many important for the longevity, and the medicine said when you feel sad all the time, your system immunity you down, and if you are more you don't have health, and this is if you don't have health, you all the time feel bad.
Yeah. So it's interesting because here I was expecting you to say, well, you do this medicine, that medicine, that medicine, and you actually took it from a very high level perspective. The term today being used is holistic, right? But you took longevity from a holistic perspective. And these are some of the things that I actually enjoy working with you in the work that you do, because I came to you because I wanted to do ozone therapy, right? And I looked for ozone therapy because of the fact that I went to my doctor in Santa Monica and he says, Anna, you need ozone into your system, which is a little bit not looked upon. In the States, it's more about using medicine actually versus creating optimization in our systems through the aid of medicine, right? So I love that you took it from a very holistic perspective. And I know some of the things that I have personally done, from ozone therapies to microdermabrasions to the salmon injections or the salmon eggs injections or whatever that is. What would you say medically today, right? What's available today to aid longevity? Oh, and I did what is the injection? The cellular, madre celular.
Yes, mother cell.
Mother Cellulars, I did that and it was incredible what it helped me with. And actually, it even helped you because I know
Yes,
you
it
did it
did.
as well. So, from a medical perspective, what are some of the things that you see that actually can help us with hormonal health, with energy, with, all the things that begin to deteriorate when we live the modern life? What are some of the things medically, would you say?
Well, I think this is important because when one people I holistic vision, do you need listen your body? Because many times or many things, maybe you feel bad, but you don't listen your body and don't understand what happened. The first step, I love ozonotherapy. Love it because help in many things. For the oxygenation, for the microbiota in your gun. Do you feel better with more energy? And if you listen your body, many things that okay, I don't feel good. Maybe what happened? Your body with when you have many stress, the life now is here. Don't the people don't live the present, and all the time the old patient live in the future. This generate anxiety, and you feel bad all the time. And the sonotherapy help with this because down the rate, and do you feel better with the pass of the time? Obviously, you need many sessions, but I feel the first step is when you use ozonotherapy because you need clean the whole body, and the second is maybe you use with a EB exosomes, UVE NAT, and mother cellulars is important because you regenerate all body and your all cells, it's better. And when you happen that and you listen your body, you feel better and the all things that click with abdomen. And I think is important because today all people search experience. But if you don't feel nothing inside, you never do all the things better. But in the things in your body, it's important. Do you preventive things because it's not for the age. It's because you're listening and I feel bad. I feel all the time tired. I feel many stress. Maybe I take a pill about the anxiety. And these things help it for the diagnostic. And what do you need? EB or mother cellulose because depend of the order with the patients. What happened with this patient?
Yeah, so I mean, so basically you're saying we live at a high level, right? When we look at longevity, we look at, the mind, body, soul, but not just the mind, body, soul, but the pillars that make up the mind, body, soul, right? And then from there, we take a look at, you know, what is our modern life dictating us to do? Because we can't stop from living in today's world. We cannot just hide in somewhere and live the way we lived 20, 30, 40 years ago. We have to live in today's society. And what you're saying is that we begin to deteriorate at a cellular level. So, what are the things that we need to do from a cellular level, which is clean the cellular at the cellular level with ozone or whatever your doctor says. We're not here to replace your doctor, obviously, but you're saying the essence is clean your body, get rid of the junk, and then inject rejuvenating things so that our own cellular level can remember to regenerate itself, right?
Yes.
So, talking a little bit about modern living, right? What are the things that we do today, the way we live our lifestyles today, that actually work against longevity, that doesn't help longevity? What are some of the things that happen in today's world?
Well, it's complicated
I
to
know.
answer.
Hence why I have me Lou. She keeps me calm,
Yeah.
you know. But what are some of the things that we do in our everyday lives?
Well, I think for me is the first step. Maybe you have a propose in your life, and one thing is important: you live slowly, live the present. This is very important. With the respect of with emotions. Maybe today don't feel good. It's fine. Tomorrow, other day, maybe it's better, but you need life because today I think that all when you see all social media that all people's happy, it's not true, and it's a pressure because why don't happy? It's okay if you don't feel good today. It's right. You need leave this emotion, and tomorrow or when the passage of the time you feel better. And when you feel or identify this emotion, do you need to do something? Because if you feel sad all the days, do you need maybe do you do more exercise because this helps for your brain? Do you have other perspective about the life? Read, this is important, and obviously you need do things for your body. EBs is right? Do you need maybe put something in the skin? Because when you feel good, uh, better. One study about the Botox, it's very important because,
You told me this, and I was
yeah,
like, I remember some things that I've seen with people who take it to the extreme, right?
yeah,
Longevity
yes,
or looking good. But
yeah.
tell the story so for those who are listening to us, because I was laughing. I was like, yeah, she's right.
Well, this is study about to the use with the Botox with patient with the depression. When one patient have depression, all see in the mirror sad. And I'm sad, I'm very more sad the next day. But when you put Botox in the face, the people on the brain is a trick. Because your brain I see that I look in the mirror, but I feel sad, but I don't feel sad. What happened? This is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just told the story, not the story I was thinking about, because this is actually, wow.
Yes.
I didn't realize that, and actually many, many, many years ago when Botox first came out, and I'm not going to reveal who, but somebody in our family had really, really bad headaches. And she says that Botox helped the headaches. So now you're also saying that it helps a little bit with depression. And it's not so much about the feel, but it's how we see ourselves, because that's has such a high impact, how we see ourselves in our overall, like how we look, how we feel, how we act, how we radiate, right? Wow.
Yes, it's important.
Wow. It's
Do you need to
amazing.
look?
It's amazing. Because I remember going to you, I'm like, no Botox. Whatever you
Yes.
do, no
No Botox.
Botox.
Yes, I know.
So
But
she's like, well, we got some in injections and we can help you here. But she's like, but you have such a great skin. I'm like, thank you. It's all the help.
yes.
So, wow, that's really interesting. And Maria, like in today's world, what are some of the things that we do that doesn't help longevity? So you're kind of saying, from a longevity perspective, these are some of the things that we can do, right? And but when we look at how we live today, the stress levels, right? And it's such a big, that's another big word that's used, stress. And I think stress is more what's stressful to you may not be stressful to me. What's stressful to me may not be stressful to you. And I think it has a lot to do with what we live, how we live, the experiences we've had, the tolerance level that we build towards it. So, besides stress and learning to, I'm not going to say live with it, but how it affects us, learning to how it affects us, what are other things that modern day living works against us from a longevity perspective? Like doesn't help us with longevity.
Well, the stress,
Stress,
yes.
big one.
Don't do the exercise. It's
Mm-hmm.
important. Don't have mental health. It's important. And I think the more important is the social part. When you don't have um, relationship, when you be better or don't be yourself, it's important because I have patients that look amazing in your face because have many things, but their eyes
The
so sad.
sparkle, the
Yeah, it's
sparkle.
loose, the sparkle.
It's like, I know the sparkle somewhere in there. Let me see how I can get that sparkle out.
Yes, and lose this sparkle, little sparkle. And I think that do you need many things, not only that don't smoke, do exercise, eat good. Yeah, this is the steps. But I think it's very important the people say the human for the complement. Do you need many things? And the bad things and don't help it is don't exercise, the exercise, don't live the moment, don't have relationship correct, and you don't listen your body. This is important. And when this pass, the physical, it's very bad. Not only the wrinkles, this not important. It's more that when you look in the mirror and it's okay, I'm fine. Yeah, but this life not only for it's fine. Do you need life with the all happiness and accept all emotions? And one day, do you feel for day very, very happy? And you need life with the amazing life. And I think that, well, this is the bad things.
Yeah, but I love speaking with you on longevity, because when I speak to doctors about longevity, they tend to be very technical. And they're correct. There's a lot of technicality to longevity, cellular level, how you can manipulate it so that you can live longer. But living longer at the cost of what? Right? If we are not happy, if we don't have happy connections with people, if we are all we're doing is sitting in our cell phones, and how many times have I gone to a restaurant where you have obviously a couple there or even a family and everybody's on their phone? We've lost that connection, that conversation, and then why do we want to live longer if that's the way we're going to live? So you're saying live longer, but get to the point that it brings you happiness in the process. I love that. So the other day I was scrolling through social media and I come across your social media, which said, I got to call her. I'm like, I want her on the podcast because you live, it's so funny because you use the same things that we use at Amita, which is, we talk about the 5 pillars of wealth being, right? So the 5 pillars being your health, your career, your relationships, your money, your growth. But here all of a sudden, I'm scrolling through social media and here's on your grid, it's like my pillars, you said. Yeah. And then you went through there and I'm like, oh my God, she's living like what we actually want people to become aware of, because first you got to become aware of it, right? You can't just make people aware in every day, besides all the amazing medical advances today to help us, with longevity. Tell us how you live longevity today. Tell us how you live your pillars.
Well, my 5 pillars is the first is the self care,
Mm-hmm.
right? In this pillar, I have routine of my face, do exercise, eat well. And the second is the mental health. It's very important. I have with my psychologist because I need, and I read many read books about all things. But I think that mental, I don't have in toxic health because all time the social media, boom this thing, and you be better, and you need work more, and do you need that? You have many impulse, but it's important. Do you say stop, and do you see your real life?
Mm-hmm.
And enjoy this, because I think that this is the complement. And well, the third is that you have good relationships. Yeah. And now I have my boyfriend, and he is amazing.
He's handsome too.
And handsome. Yes. And I, example, if you today I don't have a good day and I speak with him, he told me that relax, you will leave the emotion and maybe you feel in the night better, but stop. What happened? And in the past, all time the life, and why, Maria? Why do you feel bad if you have old? What do you need life the emotion? This is important. This is the reason important. You need good people in your life.
Yes.
And these friends, do you be yourself? It's important because I think they all many people have friends, but you don't do yourself.
Yeah.
Only for the yes, I am a woman successful, no, and I do that and perfect, and I skinny and da da da. This is not important. This is not the real life. And the other pillar, spirituality.
Yeah.
This is important. Do you need one thing in do you believe?
Mm.
Yourself, God, do you want? But it's important do you have this hope, one thing, because when the do you don't feel happy, do you need remember why you stay in this life? And do you need one structure? I think it's very important. And the second, obviously, is the part physical when I work. No, many lose fillers. Today, don't the people don't want fillers. Wants things more natural, and it's fine. Many advice with the when I work with the therapy or other things that regenerative medicine, because this I think is very important that you see better, and you put EV things because the longevity is with the hand.
Mhm.
Not only that you all things because the years pass And do you need to stop this in the cellular time in the cellular things? And I think it's this is my pillars.
I love that. I love the fact that you talked about spirituality, because when I was creating the 5 pillars of wealth being, I struggle with the last one because spirituality is really where it is. And I come from a religious background. My parents were, preachers and missionaries and dedicated their lives towards that. So I grew up in the church. I grew up in those things. But I also, I have my own belief system behind that. And my belief system is that we all need to, like you said, have hope, right? Have a higher being that when when you feel like the world's closing in on you, you just you just know that somebody loves you and somebody holds you. So regardless of who it is, right? For our own religion. But we ended up calling it personal growth because I think that as you grow through life, as you experience life, you reach that spirituality just by continuing to enhance yourself and continue to grow. So we ended up calling it personal growth, but ultimately it is spiritual growth, right?
Yes.
So I have a funny question. How did you get into this? How did you, what did you study, or how did you get into longevity, and why are you so passionate about longevity? Because I know you're passionate about it and you just have such a beautiful heart, and Milou loves you. Milou knows people. I mean, she is my cue to saying, Mommy, that's a good person,
Yes.
and she adored you. From the day she saw you, her little tail, was wiggling, and she loves to see you. But what brings you to setting up a clinic that's based on longevity and more of a natural longevity, right? It's, yes, you are helping at a cellular level. Yes, you're helping the body to regenerate itself, to become better. But what brings you happiness in doing what you do?
Well, I think is that help the other people.
I knew that, by the way.
And I think that now I have very, very good instinct with the patients. And I think when I help about that, not only the physical, because I think all things together, but I am really happy when one patient look good. It's not sad. I really feel successful because I think I want to do more with my patients. This is the reason why all time I study and go to Paris and go to Dubai for the study. And because when I back and I see my patient and I have the solution with your problem and I do that and that, and this is the process, really, I feel passion, but I feel really happy.
I love that. I love that, Maria, because one of our pillars is career. And the reason we say career is because when you're in an environment, when you're working in an environment that doesn't fuel your soul, right? Because this fuels your soul. Why you go, like you're saying, you go to Paris, you do this, you do that, you keep learning, you keep enhancing your skill sets, is because that resonates with you. Your career serves you. And it's not something we're going to talk about in today's conversation, but I think it's so important to highlight that because I see it in your eyes. You're tearful and I'm tearful, right? We become tearful because we become so passionate and so emotional about what we do, and that's because it speaks to our soul. And I think that's so important, because I think it's a very, very important pillar. You didn't mention it, but I'm adding to your repertoire of personal learning, right? That being present, because I know having a conversation with you is, you said to me that the key is to come to presence, right? To be present, to be grateful of the things that we do, that we have, and I think that you journal at night, right? Into the things that you're grateful for, and I think those are all things that just brings us to present and to appreciate the journey that we are living through this life because we all have different journeys, right?
Yes.
I love that. So I did promise people in this particular conversation and all the other ones that we do little biohacks, right?
Okay.
And the reason we do biohacks is because sometimes we want things now. Actually, we want them like yesterday,
Yes.
you know? But what are some of the things, like if somebody were to say, you know what? I like what this conversation was about. I want to define longevity in my life more. What are some of the things I can do at a high level, right, to bring longevity from a holistic perspective? And what are some of the things that I can do at a medical level to start helping me? So, holistically and medically, what are some of the things people can, how can we biohack ourselves into just creating a little more smile in our lives?
Okay. Well, the part medicine is that you start with that EB, things with EB, because you need a reset in your cells. And when happen that, your whole body feel young again. And when you feel good, you have more time for do exercise. And you don't, do you look maybe eat process? I don't need that because my body it's a temple. It's different. Do you look the things different? And I think this important that EBS is the first step, and the second is you have a routine of your face, because for me it's very important when you see on the mirror and you look good. And the obviously in this moment the ozonotherapy is a boom. I think that when you start because help your microbiota or in your gun. And when happen this, I many things when you do with eat well, do exercise, EB. But if your gun don't feel good, you don't can walk because maybe you eat and it's the same and you feel so tired. Well, this is important with the sonotherapy, help that. And this of medicine. And the other way that holistic thing, I have a experience. Now I think grow up with a person, but in the past is no, it's the same. In the past, I am a person only runner in the work, only work, 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 and I lose my relationships, and I lose my friends, and I lose me because feel good, don't see good, and I feel all the time tired. But I say that, yeah, it's for the work. Yeah, it's for the work. But one day I feel my life, and I say, stop. I can't believe more here. I need the life more slowly, life the present, come back my friends. I think this is important because in the part holistic, I in the past I know I a sex woman, yeah, but when you come home and feel alone, this is not successful. And it's important because when you holistic time in this part, do you need uh, feel better with yourself?
It's interesting because you keep mentioning connection, right? Relationships is connection to people because I know there's studies out there today. And one of the trends that we're seeing in from a financial perspective as people get ready for their retirement and longer years in life is community.
Yeah.
And it's so important as people are older and continuing to age and go through that process, community being so important because we tend to isolate ourselves the older we get. And some of our friends pass away, and family doesn't come around as much. So I think that one of the biohacks that you're mentioning is to be aware of your relationships, right? Be aware of who you let into your world, who is your tribe, right? And also because that plays such a huge impact in our ability for longevity. So I got the biohacks. So the biohacks are medically, IV,
Maybe.
and we want to take a look at ozone. Obviously, this is not a medical podcast, so
Yes.
please, do check with your doctors and all that. But I think what you're saying is that we got to get rid of the junk, feed the body with what it needs so that because the body is beautiful, the body is magnificent, the body can regenerate itself, right? That's what células madres are,
Exosomes, NAV,
right.
glutation.
All that is we're just helping the body and it's regenerative process because the body has a beautiful ability to regenerate
Yes.
itself. I love this conversation and also feed ourselves well, right? And it's funny, I was just reading something that came out in the United States, how they're changing the whole diet in the United States. that they're literally coming out saying, no, don't eat anything that has not preservatives, but anything that has been processed, right? And it's interesting because even with Milou, when I first got her, people were like, you're crazy cooking for her all the time. But I do cook for her, and it's not that complicated. People think it's complicated. It's not that complicated, right? So I cook for her. I don't give her any of the pre-made dog food, any of that stuff, because I see how it is. It's not the ingredient that's in it, but the processing of it, it's done at such high heat levels that actually kills all the goodness of all the great proteins and vegetables and fruits that go in it. So Milou is living part of your biohacks. Yes. She's like, okay, mommy, I'm sleeping now. I had to get up very early to come here, but I'm sleeping. I'm good. And then from a life perspective, in terms of biohacks, you're saying relationships, career. You're saying career is super important, right? And and exercise as well, because we continue to regenerate the mind, the body, the soul by doing that.
Yes.
I love that. Oh my God, Maria, thank you so much for coming. I loved you from the day I met you. You're just a bundle of joy and just light, and continue doing what you do. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to hear a doctor talk about longevity from your perspective, because I think it's so much bigger. Like when I talk about wealth, when I talk about money and finances, I talk about it from a very much higher perspective, because at the end of the day, it's just exchange, right? Money is exchange of energy, and it's about how we go about exchanging it in our lives, right? So, any closing remarks?
No, thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation for this conversation. I hope they help the people and will listen this podcast enjoy with us. And thank you.
Thank you. You've done amazing at such a young age. You have 2 clinics here. I always look forward to going there. Milou looks forward to going there. That's
Yes.
those are her girls. That's her family there at the clinic. So, so thank you for what you do. Thank you. Thank you for sharing longevity from such a different perspective, because I think it's needed in today's world. Thank you.
Thank you.
And she's off to do some good to the world.
Perfect.
As we come to the close of today's conversation, I want to pause for a moment, because what we've really been exploring isn't just longevity. It's the way our lives quietly add up. Not through dramatic moments or extreme choices, but through the small, consistent decisions we make every day. How we care for our health, how we honor our time, how we choose our work, how we tend to our relationships, and how we continue to grow and listen inwardly as life evolves. Longevity, as we heard it today, isn't something to control or chase. It's something that emerges when life is lived with intention, respect, and alignment. When medicine supports rather than replaces the way we live. When success is defined not only by what we achieve, but by how sustainable, meaningful, and life-giving that achievement truly is. So, as you move back into your day, I'll leave you with a simple invitation. Notice what you're already doing that supports the life you want to be living years from now. And gently become curious about where a small shift in space, in choice, or in attention might create more harmony over time. Because wealth, in its truest sense, is a life lived well, and longevity is simply one of its natural expressions. Thank you for being here and for choosing to invest your time in these conversations. Until next time, this is Health and Wealth.